Hello everyone, welcome back to CNA, the daily news analysis. Today, the date is 14th of December. These are my working experiences, you may go through it. If you want to download today's PDF, you can join our WhatsApp group or our Telegram channel. There are also other platforms through which you can connect to us. This is to inform about our IGP program, Interview Guidance Program, which is going on thrivingly and the registration is still open and it is completely free. So please let the needy ones know about it. This is our content space. These are the following topics that we will be discussing today. So let's head on with the first news, how India can become the bank for the global south. So it was in the news because India's GDP surge since 2007 surpasses China's 3.6 trillion. So in comparison to China's growth, India's growth is quite remarkable, highlighting the significant moment in Indian diplomacy led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This transformational diplomatic year and G20 stewardship legacy could reshape the global order. Now let's have a look at the analysis of China's rise to the geo-economic prominence. So China ki korise iman kini sao. So in 2007, China became a crucial nation during the global financial crisis due to its institutional and geo-economic response, including a development bank and a cross-continental lending program. So here the financial crisis blackout definitely your role at ASSAM. So these initiatives also have galvanized the infrastructure without the Western constraints and incorporated economic projects into the Belt and Road Initiative. So what do you mean by Belt and Road Initiative? OBOR. If you know, then please write it down what it is about. OBOR, one belt, one road. So write it down in the comment box. What do you know about it? It's very, very important for your exam. Now, China have offered a vital alternative outside the Western world, definitely. So China have also utilized its economic promise in 2008 to gain enormous economic and political influence, offering itself as a vital additionality to the global order. Now, as the US have struggled to recover from the crisis and the Eurozone deteriorated, China promised the stability and economic dynamism. So that's why China যদি আমি চাও ইহঁতৰ prominence to effective হয়. Apart from that, does India have the similar resources to follow China's ascent trajectory? So India imankini resources asene. So India also can exert a huge influence. India also can exert a huge influence because India, with its 4 trillion economy, has the potential to significantly influence the global economy. With also vision and diplomacy, it can compete with larger economics like the US, European Union, and China. Now, India's unique situation in 2024 presents an opportunity as Europe stagnates, the US moves inwards, and the China deals with internal issues, reducing its global economy share. So what are the agendas of India's next government in the upcoming years? So IT sector, information technology and innovation. So the next government should showcase India's global potential, highlighting its strong presence in software services and technology, which contributes significantly to exports and economic growth. Apart from that, India's government is promoting innovation and economic growth by providing the policies and funding to startups with over 100 unicorns now in operation. Currently operation চলি আছে আমাৰ ক'ব গৈছে ইয়াতে 100 unicorns. So what do you mean by unicorn? Unicorns are those kind of startups, okay, which are private startups. So private startup হয় এইবিলাক সেইবিলাকক আমি unicorn বুলি কওঁ once they have crossed the value of 1 billion. So 1 billion হচ্ছে যদি বেছি সিহঁতৰ market value হৈ যায় তেতিয়াহ'লে তেনেকুৱা এটা startupক আমি unicorn বুলি কওঁ in the business world. Okay, in the business world তেনেকুৱা কোৱা যায়. Apart from that, আমাৰ এটা leverage এটাও থাকিব for being in a very good position, location. Okay, so strategically আমি এটা leverage এটা থাকিব. So India's strategic location, including its position as a gateway to the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, is expected to enhance its global economic importance. Apart from that, the Indian government has also implemented economic reforms to enhance the business environment, ease of doing business, and attract the foreign investment through initiatives like Make in India and Goods and Service Tax. Now, Make in India episode, Wed in India, I hope you guys know about it, right? Now, additionalities India can offer on the lines of China. India aru extra ki koribo pare. So India jitu amar green and digital future jitu amar contrast bilag ase. Okay, etu contrast hoi jay with the China's mass manufacturing dominance in the 2010s, demonstrating momentum additionality. To enhance its economy, India needs a systematic approach, mirroring China's 15-year strategy and a dedicated bank for the global engagement. India's role as a major source of development finance necessitates its approach. So, conclusion of Jodi ami sao, India's 2024 transformation will determine its geopolitical position. Okay, will determine its geopolitical position, requiring strategic planning and visionary diplomacy. Collaborating with the partners, India should map priority infrastructure, connectivity routes, business hubs, and developmental projects. The country's role as the Global South Bank is to contribute to a global growth, institutions, and security, highlighting the need for a systematic approach. So, I hope you guys know about the Global South. So, yate dhuniake likha ase about the brand line. Picture to apnaloke bhalke sabo pare. So, tolor kine jikhini jaga amar Global South boli koa hoy, so tate amar India eta bahut important role eta ami dekha pa. Aru already pai asu. So, here goes the question. So, please go through it. Second news of the day is about the ECI members to have the same status as the Supreme Court judges. So why was it the news? Because the Rajya Sabha has passed the bill to regulate the appointment of the Election Commission of India, maintaining the status of the CEC, the Chief Election Commissioner, and the two ECC election commissioners on par with the Supreme Court judges. Okay, so that is why it was in the news. So status here same হৈ যাব আমাৰ Supreme Court judges বিলাকৰ নিচিনা same status থাকিব. Now let's have a look about the Election Commission of India, which is very important for your exam. Okay, so Election Commission of India, which is a permanent independent body under the Article 324 of the Indian Constitution. It is responsible for conducting elections to parliament, state legislatures, and the office of president and the vice president as well. Now, the appointment and tenure of the commissioners, the Constitution does not establish legislative process for the appointment of CEC and EC. However, Article 324 states that the appointment is subject to Parliament's provisions. The President appoints them on the advice of the Union Council of Ministers with a tenure of 6 years or of up to the 65 years. So, prelims are very important. Now, the CECs, Chief Election Commissioners, can be removed from office, but the retiring commissioners are not barred from the further government appointments. Supreme Court on Election Commission appointment. So, the Supreme Court has rejected the current system of the center appointing members of the poll watchdog, the CEC and ECs. The court, citing Article 324, subclause 2 of the Constitution, called for a law on selection criteria, service conditions, and tenure of the CEC and ECs. Until then, the apex court formed a panel of Prime Minister, Chief Justice, and the opposition leader. Okay, so tenekua eta selection criteria eta ba service conditions bilak thakibo lage before appointing them. Okay, now what is the bill to denote the election commissioner status? So jitu bill asile he bill to jodi ami sao tetiale CEC aru amar jikhini baki belag EC bilak ase he bill to jitu amar 2023 jitu bill ase, this was passed in the upper house of the parliament with a voice vote. Okay, now this is very important, voice vote. So what do you mean by voice vote? Apnalike saise sage enaka jita neki session choli thake titia bahut manu jita neki kuba eta question eta khude ba amar jitu amar speaker jita neki deciding page etat question etat khude titia bahut manu ye boli koy ba bahut manu ne boli koy, right? So tate thaki jay amar ye ba ye boli koy. Okay, aru kisubane ne boli koy mane hiote agree nokore. Okay, neighbor agree no kore by ye koa bulake agree kore. So that is what is known as the voice vote. Okay, now this bill, okay, bill to jitu ase, this aims to alter the constitutional provisions that equate the ECs with Supreme Court judges and downgrade their service conditions, aligning them with those of a cabinet secretary. Now the bill aims to reverse the top court's recent ruling in Anup Baranwal versus Union of India and was reintroduced in Rajya Sabha on December 12th. What are the key highlights of the bill again? Removed CJI from the panel. So the bill aims to replace India's Chief Justice with a cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister and includes the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha in the selection committee. So, kenedhonar criteria thakibo? The bill establishes the ECI comprising a CEC and other ECs with equivalent government positions, integrity and experience in election management and election conduct. So these are the criteria. So process, terms and tenures, ekhini gutekhini yate dia ase. So we can see here that the selection committee for the selection of CEs and ECs will be proposed by a search committee. The search committee led by the law minister, chaired by the PM. The terms and tenure of the CEC and ECs remain unchanged at 6 years or until they reach 65 years. So this is same. Okay. Now the bill also repeals the 1991 Act. So amar jeto 1991 Act asile repeals the 1991 Act, advocating for unanimous transactions and majority opinion in disagreements. The removal of election commissioners from office is subject to the recommendation of the CEC, following the same procedure as a Supreme Court judge. So apart from that, the government has introduced a new provision to safeguard the current and former CEC and election commissioners from civil or criminal proceedings related to their official duties. So ebilakor logot criticism ase kintu. So the amar opposition leader bilake criticize korise that the bill for replacing the CGI in the selection committee with a cabinet minister, ensuring the government always has the majority to choose its candidate. Okay, so at amar jeto bidot amar ki koa hoise that CGI remove kora goise panel pora, right? And instead of that, at a cabinet minister logot replace kora goise. So he bostu to cabinet minister joto thakibo, cabinet minister will be dominated by the prime minister. So hetu karone opposite leader bilake koi ase that government or hodai eta upper hand eta thakiboi. So that is the criticism here. So here goes a question. Please go through it. Third news: Bihar reservation law and breaching her limit. Okay, so 50% to limit ase hetu breach kori dise. So it was in the news because of that. So Bihar Assembly passed the Bihar reservation laws, increasing the job and education reservations to 75%. So 75% like a reserve seat thakbo, breaching the Supreme Court's 50% so rule. So our Supreme Court of India tahate eta 50% rule banai thise reservation, but hetu hate cross kori 75% loke gusi goise. Okay. On that note, I would also like to ask you guys that amar Ohomor reservations criteria to kenekwa hoy. Okay, amar Ohomor, okay, Ohomor reservation breakup to kenekwa hoy muk jonao. Yate apnaloke dekha paise picture to dekha paise that amar economically backward classes, economically weaker section, Supreme Court, so amar scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC sobore eta percentage ase, right? So yate ase eneka ase 25%, 20%, 45 hoy gol, then 18%, 2%, okay, 55, 65 hoy gol, then again 10%, gotike 75% hoy gol. So tenekwa ami sao jodi Bihar jeneka 75% ase amar Ohomor breakup to kenekwa hoy, please let me know in the comment section. This is very, very important, highly important for your general knowledge or for your exam. Okay, so that's why it was in the news. Now, what are the key highlights of the Bihar reservation laws? Because the Bihar Reservation of Vacancies in Posts and Services Amendment Act 2023 and the Bihar Reservation in Admission in Educational Institutions Amendment Act 2023, this aims to provide 65% reservation for a scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes, with 10% reservation for the EWS economically weaker section approved under the Central Act. Okay, so what is this 50% rule? What is this 50% rule? So 50% rule is simple as that a rule to it restricts the job or education reservations to 50% of all the available seats. Now it was initially limited in 1963 but was reaffirmed in 1990. Now the states can exceed this limit in specific circumstances such as providing reservations to the marginalized communities. Now, the 103rd Constitutional Amendment allows for an additional 10% for economically weaker sections, allowing the states to reserve 60% of seats or posts. So, 60% EWS or 10% reservation, to add corruption already amar 60% hoye goisile, 50% or rule to amar 60% hoye goisile, but that have also been broken by the Bihar government. Okay. So now, next we saw other states crossing the limit as well. So yes, states like Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, and several northeastern states have also exceeded the 50% limit, including the EWS quota. with Lakshadweep having 100% reservation for the scheduled tribes. Previous attempts by Maharashtra and Rajasthan have also been there, but they have been unsuccessful. Now, Constitution and Reservation. So, our Constitutional Amendment Act, 77th Constitutional Amendment Act, which was in 1995, it introduced Article number 16, okay, subclass 4A to the Constitution, allowing the state to make provisions for reservation in matters of promotion to the Supreme Court and to the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe employees. Now, if they feel they are not adequately represented, the 81st Constitutional Amendment Act 2000 introduced Article 16(4)(b), okay, treating unfiled scheduled caste and scheduled tribe quotas separately from the regular vacancies. So, apart from that, 85 Constitutional Amendment Act 2 which provided for the consensual seniority reservation in promotion for government servants belonging to the SCs and STs. 103rd Amendment 2 introduced which introduced the 10% reservation for EWS. So these are the following amendments. So এই amendment খিনি আপোনালোকে মনত ৰাখিব আৰু কোনটো amendmentor through-দি আমি কোনখিনি আমি provision পাইছো. These are very important, extremely important. Apart from that, Article 335 ৰ কথাও লিখা আছে. So these are what? These are provisions given written in our Indian constitutions. Okay, regarding what? Regarding the reservation process. Now, apart from that, way ahead, যদি আমি চাওঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে the court should re-evaluate the 50% reservation cap in light of changing socio-economic conditions and equality principles, considering the extending exclusions to historically disadvantaged populations and examining the effectiveness and suitability of current reservation policies to meet the societal needs. So that's a very good way ahead. You can also copy it in your answers. So here goes the question. Please go through it. Now here comes the fourth news, GPAI Summit 2023. Okay, New Delhi declaration bad for equitable access to the AI resources. So why was it the news? Because GPAI, comprising 29 member countries, has unanimously adopted the New Delhi declaration, emphasizing the need to mitigate AI system risk and ensure the equitable access to critical resources. Now about GPAI. So GPAI কি হয় কেইদিনমান আগত আকবাৰ আমি পঢ়িছিলো. Okay, so it is an international initiative aimed at responsible AI development and use, respecting human rights and democratic values. Okay, recently our AI initiative eta loisile our Indian government. Okay, AI initiative eta loisile our Indian government. So what is the name of the initiative? Please let me know in the comment box. Okay. Now, apart from that, the objectives of the GPAI, so it aims to bridge the gap between the theory and practice on AI by supporting the advanced research and activities, fostering international cooperation from various sectors. Now, about the New Delhi Declaration, so the GPAI aims to shape the AI's future by promoting innovation and collaboration in healthcare and agriculture. It will lead global conversations on AI governance, focusing on the global south and making AI benefits accessible to all. Now, by next year, GPAI countries will establish definitive AI regulations, okay, and this includes other things as well, like addressing risk like misinformation and unemployment, lack of transparency and fairness, protection of intellectual property and personal data, and threats to the human rights and democratic values. Now, the declaration also acknowledges the need for equitable access to the resources, which must be considered, accounted for, or addressed in order for societies to benefit from and build competitive AI solutions. What is the significance of this New Delhi Declaration? So the GPAI has agreed to prioritize AI innovation in the agriculture sector, a priority that India is pushing for due to the rise of the generative AI platforms like ChatGPT, Google Bard, etc., which are crucial for enhancing the productivity and the production as well. Now, India's key significance of this New Delhi Declaration key significance for India. So this is very significant win for India as it advocates for a collaborative approach to the building AI systems. This will help India push its digital public infrastructure model globally and counter foreign dominance in the space. Access to computing capabilities from the member nations will also boost India's plans for a sovereign AI system? Here goes the questions. Please go through it. Prelims fact cycle Amar. So here comes the first fact, which is about the Amrit technology. So Amrit technology, which uses the nanoscale iron oxyhydroxide to selectively remove arsenic and metal ions from water. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now, this technology is also suitable for both domestic and community use and has been recommended by the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation's Standing Committee for Water and Sanitation Technology Evaluation. Now, arsenic is a naturally occurring element which is highly toxic in its inorganic form. Next fact is about the Dema orchestia alanensis. So researchers at the Berhampur University in Odisha, they have discovered a new marine amphiphode species in Chilika Lake. So amphipods, also known as scuds or side swimmers, are a diverse and ubiquitous group in the freshwater habitats, playing a crucial role in the marine food chain and assessing climate change impact on the coastal ecosystems. This is our academic team. This is our content developing and technical team. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you.